'cause I'm irrational.
Hey, it's Sean Smith here, and as I'm speaking to you now, I've just wrapped on my new EP, and I wanted to have a little chat with the producer of the entire EP. He's here with me today, but before I do that, I just want to give you a little bit of background how this all started. So I've been working away doing a show called We Will Rock You, and the guy that we're about to meet was actually the lighting guy on the show. And I didn't know this, but he's been a fantastic producer for quite some years. And one day, on this fateful day, I walked into Heritage Coffee, which is in Alaska, and he was sat there with his laptop, which was similar to the one that I just bought. And I said, "Hey man, I've just been and bought myself the same laptop as you." And he said, "Oh, well, why do you want it?" I said, "Oh, because I want to be creating some of my music on it." And he said, "Oh, that's funny because I actually produce songs." And pretty much the rest is history.
Just went from there. That's it.
Just before we started recording this,
we
finalised the album.
Yeah.
Well, not album. I keep saying album, but actually it's an EP. Of course.
We've
We would have
We've
if
been
we
working
had.
hard.
Yeah.
We've been working hard.
If we had the time, though, we probably would have just carried on and made a whole
that's
album.
true. Yeah.
But unfortunately, the way that it works with our situation, Sam's only going to be here for a short space of time, and I stay on a little bit longer. But I should also say to you guys, I'm actually in a cabin on a cruise ship, and this is the place
This
where
has been our studio for the past 3 months.
And it's amazing what you can do. It just goes to prove you can have all the gear and no idea, or not have all the gear but all the idea, like what you've got,
exactly.
and still come up with something pretty damn good. So
that's it.
for one, man, I just want to say congrats. We've done it. We finished it.
Yeah.
But I think what we want to do on this little video is basically just go through the whole EP song by song and just give you a breakdown of how it started, what the thoughts were behind it, so you got a really good understanding of where we were coming from and what we were feeling on this. Is there anything really, do you think, we need to that's interesting about the way that this all worked for us and how it all started?
Funny little thing is we're both from the same place back home.
Yes.
Which is a weird coincidence.
Which we didn't even know.
Yeah, we didn't know that
until we had that conversation.
Yeah, until we started talking a bit more.
Which also means potentially, once we get back home, we could do some more stuff if you guys love it as much as I know you will.
Yeah.
So
that's cool.
Yeah. And do you want to just tell people, just real quick, how did you firstly get into this world in the first place, like the lighting side of it, and then what made you feel like you could go into producing? How did that all come about?
It was kind of the other way around, to be honest.
Yeah.
So as I was leaving school about 10 years ago.
Thanks, mate, for reminding me how long ago I did.
Plus the rest. I was about 16 and I was just getting into dance music quite heavily, like Skrillex, Pendulum, that type of stuff. And basically just fell into the world of producing and downloaded FL Studio on my computer and just watched a few YouTube tutorials how to make dubstep and stuff like that, and it kind of just went from there. And I was kind of the kid in school, I didn't really know what I wanted to do, but I was quite creative, like I enjoyed art, enjoyed that sort of stuff. So I just said, I want to go to college and study music technology. Went and did that, and that's basically where I learned how to use Logic, and that was my first sort of time using Logic. And then I went from there to uni, and then that's it really. But I've not really been doing it professionally. I've kind of just done it as a hobby for the whole time.
How it all starts though, mate, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think a lot of people in our industry have had the same feeling. It just become really good at it, and then it just becomes what you do in the end, and becomes part of your identity. But
so I studied music production for a few years, and then I fell into a technician job on land for a chain of hotels. Met a few performers who perform on cruise ships, and then they just said, yeah, you can apply here, and then came to the ships, and then kind of fell into lighting instead of sound. but they go hand in hand. So what I'd learned from audio production, it helped me excel in the lighting side of things.
Yeah.
So and then fast forward like 4 years, ended up on the same ship as Sean, and yeah.
We Will Rock You is a big show. That's hence why I kind of came on board. But yeah, of course, with that comes the whole thing of being on board. But the beautiful thing of it is there are people from all over the world, so many different talents, and obviously that's how we managed to find each other to be able to create this EP. So it's a pretty sick story, really.
There's nothing wrong with performing on ships, man.
Nah, amazing, like great money, seeing the world.
Yeah, exactly.
Also in a great show as well, and great audiences. So, but obviously, you know, after my how everything was with me and being on the X Factor, all that kind of stuff, certainly didn't expect to be here. But sometimes it's like a twist of fate, isn't it? And these things work out. And I'm so unbelievably proud of this EP and how we got there. And as I say, the work that's gone into it has been insane from the both of us. Basically, it's all been on pure work, heart, guts, and creativity and coffee.
A lot of coffee.
Because I was lucky enough that's it. There's been so many times when we've been so tired, just and just ploughed on and got things done, and then you come back to it the next day and still think there are little tweaks. But I think we've landed in a place where we're both really, really happy with how it's ended up. I hope you'll agree, man. Literally really cannot wait for people to hear this. I don't know about you.
Yeah, I'm really proud of it.
It feels like a really huge step in the right direction for me, and I feel so proud to be able to kind of introduce you properly in all your talents, man. And hopefully a lot of people find this, appreciate what you do, and it will mean that you go on to another level, maybe work with even bigger artists.
I'd love to work with more people. Bigger or smaller, I'd love to. Yeah, I don't mind. What's funny as well, since I've been on the ships and doing this job, I haven't even been making music until this year. I kind of just put it on the side and wanted to focus on this career for a bit, and then this year that's when I brought the Mac and got back into it. So it's kind of just like a weird, it's really weird how it's all happened, to be honest.
I know, but
it's
perfect.
funny how the world works. It's just one of those things where everything's just kind of fallen into place somehow.
It's been a beautiful thing to with what my skill set is, with what I can do, and what your skill set is. It's just blended beautifully, and then when we come together for the finalised production parts, that's when all the real sort of magic has been happening, and it's taking it to another level. But of course, every song has to start somewhere. So I think what we're going to do now is we're going to talk through each of the songs and kind of give you a bit of an insight about how it started, what the original idea was, and funny little anecdotes and stories that happened while we were here in this very room recording the entire EP. So I think we should start right at the very beginning with the first song on the EP. Well, at this moment in time, actually, we're not sure where it's going to be, so we don't want to kind of, you know, talk about it as if it's already out, because a lot of things can change. A lot of the
just
order
talk
could
about
change.
The process of each tune.
So
we'll talk about them in the order that we made them.
That's probably the best idea.
But that's not necessarily the order they're going to be in on the EP. And we don't even have a name yet for we have an idea maybe, but no, it's not confirmed. So
I can't even remember what the idea is. I think we've
flower in a book.
Yeah,
flower in a book. That's my idea then. It's not Sean's idea.
The thing is, we've like been thrown so many ideas around over so many different things that we can't even remember what we talked about, and do you know what the other hilarious thing is things that we've just thrown out and thought were terrible, then we've gone, it needs something there, and it's gone back in.
That's true.
That kind of stuff has happened with us time and time again, and you told me to take that out. It's a good job I muted it and didn't delete it.
Yeah.
So it's been a mad process, but I think what we'll do is we'll start at the very beginning. For us, it might not necessarily be the first song on the EP, but for us, the first song that we started with was Sunrise. So let's make a start and have a little chat about that. So
well, I can say, obviously before Sunrise, I did the remix of Feel This Love.
Yes, forgot about that.
So Sean, when me and Sean met in the coffee shop, he was telling me that he makes music and that he just released a song. So I said, send me the vocal so I can remix it. And I remixed it, and he liked the remix so much that he said he wants to make some music, and that's kind of where it went from there. So Sunrise, I sent you a few tracks before, I think. I sent you a couple of tracks before Sunrise that I'd made in the past, but Sean wasn't too sure about them. So I tried to make something that I thought would suit Sean's style, basically. So I wrote the chords and all that stuff, like really basic, and sent it over to him. And like, I think like within a couple of days you'd written something already.
Well, yeah, obviously I was so keen to get started, and also I think the beautiful thing at the very start was that we were both keen to impress one another what we could do.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah. Didn't think about that.
I was I wanted to go right.
I think there was a bit of pressure, wasn't there?
Yeah,
from each other. Yeah.
So when he's sending me this song, it's like, I've made it especially for you. He's thinking, oh, I hope he likes it, and I'm then writing the top line and going, oh, I hope he likes it.
Yeah.
And funnily enough, a lot of the way it would work, he'd send it to me via WhatsApp. I'd then drop it into Logic and write a top line to it, and then send it back to him. And before I'd sent every single song, in fact, at the beginning I was like, mate, this might be, I can't say the word.
This might be crap. This might be crap.
Or another word like that, but give it a listen, see what you think. We can always go back to the drawing board.
What he was doing is recording himself on a voice note and sending it to me in WhatsApp.
Yeah.
And then I'd play it, and he every voice note he's like, not sure about this, mate. I don't know, mate. And then I'd listen to it and be like, yeah, that's a banger, mate. That's a banger. That's a banger. You're onto it.
And that kind of happened quite a bit, didn't it?
Yeah, every song, I think.
Yeah, pretty much. But that was just fantastic that you were obviously thinking about how what the kind of music that I might like.
Yeah.
And then I'm coming to you going, here's a top line, do you like it?
Yeah.
And that's kind of where the blend happened. And once we knew once I knew you liked the original idea, then I'd run with it and write the entire thing.
Yeah.
Funnily enough, the first one we kind of recorded in a very different way, didn't we? Because the rest of them...
Here.
Yeah,
I was in the room.
That's exactly it.
So you recorded the voice note, and then I came in, we did a session.
This might be a great time to insert the video.
Yeah, I've got it. I was already thinking it.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Basically, he said, "Oh, you never know. This might end up being a hit, and I want to remember that when you recorded it." So he took this video of me singing, and we'll put it on the video in the background so you can hear it. But yeah, it'll just give you a sense of what it was like to record this album. It's not fancy. We're not in a fancy studio. No. We haven't got all the fancy equipment, but it was just pure heart, love, and guts and determination.
The sun will rise. The sun will rise. So raise your glass, the sun will rise, you know. Yeah.
But yeah, most of it we've just literally been mixing it through the MacBook, which is crazy in this time and age.
It's not a thing, for those of you who don't know, it's not really a thing that you do. You need a good set of like level speakers so that you can really hear everything, and I think through the MacBook it's a completely different sound. There were times when you would take it to the amazing speakers that are in the lighting booth and mix on that instead.
Just referencing basically, and we put it through this bar over here a few times, didn't we?
Yeah, the famous bar that's so bassy that we keep, every time we listen we go, we need to turn that bass down, but it's usually
and then we
perfect.
turn it down, we go, why is the bass so quiet?
But yeah, it was here when I got here, and it should never have been used for mixing, but we kind of learned that early doors. This is the thing, everything's
it's been a learning process kind of, as well. Yeah,
how to make it work, it's just been kind of like each step. But I think let's talk a little bit about the lyrics into this one. I guess that's my bag, but for me the whole story with this one was, because they always say, don't they, write about what you know. And at the time I was just on board, getting on with my shows, and perhaps getting a little bit down, because that does happen when you're away from your family and all that kind of stuff. And I was just thinking all the time, my thoughts were always just about how much I miss my wife and how much I can't wait for her to come on board. And I knew that she was coming on, but it just seemed so far away. But I'd have the same conversation with her every single day, basically, where I'd be like, "Don't worry, I'm wasting time on here. I'm not the same without you, but I'm just counting down the days until you're here." And that basically was the sentiment of the entire, and it kind of wrote itself really quickly and really simply.
I also relate to the same thing because I'm married as well, and me and my wife have spent a lot of time apart as well. So, yeah. Instantly I related to the lyrics, which is why I loved the lyrics as well straight away. So
yeah, and they're so simple. I think also when I first heard what you sent me, I said, oh, I feel like this could be like a George Ezra style song, just very chill. And Shotgun was the one that I was thinking of, just because it's one of them everyone's latched onto and they just sing it. You know, you're outside. Obviously, the sun was shining for us at the time. I think by the time the EP comes out, it's going to be closer to sort of Christmas time, maybe, we're hoping. We don't know, obviously, when it's going to be released. But that was the general thought behind it, just something that everyone could just sort of sing along, almost like an anthem that's so easy you can pick it up really, really quickly. And like I say, the sentiment just sort of really sat well with the both of us, didn't it? So but then after, so obviously we talked about it, you recorded that for me as the as the what is it they call it, the
what? I don't know what it is.
So you were it's not producer, is it? You were the technician.
Engineer. Okay, right. Yeah. If you want to call it that.
So you engineered the song.
Okay.
Obviously, some of the other songs didn't happen like that. I basically recorded the vocals myself, but we'll get to that later as we cover it. But
this is the only one that we did fully with both of us in the room. Yeah.
Exactly that.
Yeah.
Exactly
and
that.
Then once we had the vocal down, I took the vocal and went and did my own thing, cleaned it up, did a bit more production stuff.
Thanks, mate. Cleaned it up. What are you trying to say? Lots of tuning on that one.
It was so out of tune. Honestly, Sean's a terrible singer.
No,
I'm joking. He's talented as hell.
Oh, bro.
Yeah, it's a blessing to work with someone like this.
Oh, bro. I basically asked for that, didn't
I? So I just cleaned up, like, not the singing, but all the little things, because we're not in a studio environment, so you get a lot of background noise and stuff like this from outside. So we got to cut all that out and do all the little, the boring stuff. Got to have a lot of patience with it. Make the vocal sound more clean and professional. But I think that's the only one that I really did that on.
Yeah.
Because the other ones you did it mainly yourself.
Yeah, we'll talk about that as we get to them. But I suppose once we'd done that, we then did some backing vocals on it and stuff. But the coolest part for me, I should tell people as well. Originally, it was how does it start? Hold on, time. It used to be. Ew. Do you remember that?
Yeah. The original.
On the original,
in the whole verse section.
Yeah. I thought that it would be like a cool thing that people could sing along to.
There's one at the end of this last chorus. I call it the old the Freddie Mercury.
Oh yeah.
The Freddie Mercury.
You kind of kept a little bit of it in there.
Yeah, it's in there. Yeah, at the end. But what we should talk about is the first version that we sent to the label.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And then that was a bit of a rough time, wasn't it?
Yeah,
to be fair, yeah.
It felt like we were.
The label they weren't too keen, were they?
Well, I think that what they said was, we can see the idea. We love the idea.
Actually, they did say they loved it, but they wanted like more.
It was
rough. It was a rough.
Yeah, it sounds like it's not finished.
Yeah,
was their exact words, and also. My idea of ew got cut instantly.
That's where I was going with that. So they weren't a fan of the old eels.
No, I mean, now that I look back, I go, what was I thinking? Thinking that was great, but I just had this vision of everyone singing it along.
Well, we also showed it to a few people on the ship as well, and a couple of them loved that.
Yeah, they were singing that bit straight away. So we were right in the sense that it was a good sing along bit.
Yeah.
But I think it
Maybe
made
we
it
can
uncool.
whack a little clip of that in here somewhere.
Oh man, I mean,
I'll just
do you know
whack it
what? The thing is, people that go now, I want to hear it, won't they?
Exactly.
And,
Exactly.
I mean, I like the idea originally.
I'll just put one little AO in.
Yeah.
Ayo, ayo.
But I think, yeah, once we got rid of that, it felt empty there, and that's when all your creativity comes in. And this is something that I think is super cool. So it's you got you kind of love that kind of stuff from listening to the likes of Skrillex and stuff, didn't you? But
Yeah.
you've also given me a tutorial on how to do it, but I've completely forgotten because it was way too fast and way too technical.
It wasn't.
But,
it only takes like 5 minutes to do it.
So we're talking about those really cool, like
The choppy vocals.
choppy vocals.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, it's not too complicated. As long as you've got a clean vocal, just chop it up, pitch it down, play around on the keyboard.
It's like that viral clip that, and I always said that to you, didn't I? You know the Bieber clip when he's talking to, I think it's Ellen DeGeneres, and he says, you know that part of the song, and it went viral.
Where are you
didn't
now?
It? Yeah.
Where are you now?
And he was like, that's
Yeah.
my vocal. She was like, no, and she wouldn't believe it.
Yeah, yeah.
And then someone's proving that can be done, and
Yeah.
that's exactly what
So
you did
that's
with.
just something that I like to incorporate in everything I make, because it's so easy and it sounds so good.
Yeah, it's cool. Isn't it?
Yeah, so, and it just takes the track to another level.
And in every song, I was asking for more of it when
Yeah.
I was like, can you do that thing that you do? And just that's what's going to take it to another
Yep,
level.
in
And
every
every time I'll be
song.
like, yeah, love it.
Yeah.
More. But they're basically like hooks.
Yeah.
And that's what,
Yeah.
you need those in songs for people to latch onto. And I think,
Yeah.
again, I keep...
They can't exist without the vocal. So Sean he'd done the vocal, given me the vocal. Then I'd taken the project away, worked on it on my own time, and put in those little chops, and then gone back to Sean and said, what do you think of this?
we should have known, actually, that first one would be rejected, because I think when we worked on it, I came back from Victoria, let's say a little bit worse for wear.
yeah, maybe.
And everything I was hearing, I was like, "Oh, that's amazing, man!"
Oh, we
Turn it
were
up.
buzzing though.
Oh, we
on
were.
on the first version, we were
poor.
buzzing. That's the funny thing. If we go back and listen now, oh my goodness, we must have been like, we were buzzing over the idea. I think,
Yeah.
but it was nowhere near finished.
No,
nowhere
and
near.
if you think about it, actually, funnily enough, it's the last one that we finalised, even though it was the first one that we did.
That's true.
And that's an interesting story, because obviously we were learning and growing and getting to know one another more and more as the songs went on, and understanding what worked and what didn't. And then we had to basically go all the way back to that project in order to finalise it and make it what it is now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, I mean, I hope you guys absolutely love the track. We're so proud of it, aren't we?
Yeah.
Very first one that we made,
Mm-hmm.
final one to get finished, and I think it's an absolute banger.